Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Em, a lover of all things planning and stationery, and today I've got a bit of a delayed flip through of my Hobonichi Cousin. I tend to do a flip through every month just to kind of show progress and updates and how I've been using my planner. Last month I didn't do the flip on the Cousin because I did a Q1 flip instead of my weeks, which I'll leave a link if you want to see how I use my weeks as kind of primarily fitness and finance planning. Odd combo, but it works for me. So I didn't just want to have loads of flip videos all in one go, so I thought as I was going to film April's flip, I would do March at the same time and just do two for the price of one. So to start off, we have my yearly overview. This hasn't really changed too much. I've got all my holiday information. I do actually have a new job that I got a couple of weeks ago, and I start in June, which does kind of mean that some of this will be a bit irrelevant because obviously I'll have a new holiday year, and things like my paydays, which I've coloured in here, obviously won't be relevant anymore, but that's fine, it's minor and can be fixed. This is my year at a glance page, so if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I use this as contents pages because I don't use my dailies necessarily for daily planning. I do on some days, but other days I kind of mainly just use it as a notebook, and so I use this as an index so I can see the pages and find them really easily. I do use a lot of kind of sticky tabs to find pages. Those are the ones that I'll use the most often, and then these are just other ones that I might need to refer back to as and when I know all the information is here. Next up, my monthly pages, and I use these in two really simple ways. Left hand side is for the habit tracker because this sidebar is perfectly sized for it. These are daily habits that I quite like to do, but I don't beat myself up if I don't do them every day. And then the actual daily blocks are just for gratitude / highlight of the day. It's something new for me this year, but I've really enjoyed just kind of taking a couple of minutes each day, just remember what I did the previous day and pick out something nice that happened. They're not always going to be mind-blowing things, but it's nice to have that. Then next up, my weekly pages, and my weekly pages in March were actually really interesting because March was the month that I moved, and so I found myself using my Nolty a bit more, just to kind of have something a bit quicker to use and a bit quicker to plan in, that didn't take a huge amount of setup, was just a bit scruffy, didn't have to worry about keeping it, you know, nice and neat. This was my first ever pen only spread and I absolutely love how this turned out. Yeah, it just, while I was really busy, it just worked for me to plan in the Nolty instead. And even now I'm still using this, which if you've seen my Nolty video, you'll know that I keep this up now as a bit of a messy pre-planner because I like having a bit of a brain dump planner that all my plans go in there, and then I can kind of lay out my week and then set it up properly in my Cousin. So in March, that was kind of when that started happening, because I've never really understood the whole phrase kind of too busy to plan, but that really happened to me in March. So yeah, it was a bit kind of hit and miss, and I did a few kind of different ways of planning. So I had the week in the Nolty and then kind of did a bit of a almost memory keeper spread, just to kind of post stickers and have some fun time one evening. And yeah, really enjoyed how it came out. I am now kind of settled back in terms of planning style, busyness level, so I'm back to kind of my usual way of planning. The only thing I've changed is I'm in the process of kind of moving this bar down. I'm finding that particularly now that I've moved and there's a bit more going on as kind of lockdown rules ease, I've got a few more plans to kind of go in this top bit. So yeah, over time this line is kind of getting smaller and smaller. I think I'll always have some sort of setup like this, because I do just like having the separate kind of general to-dos that don't need to be done on a separate day. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing more space up top, which is great because it means that life might actually be getting back to normal. Hooray! But yeah, that's it for the weeklies. And then in terms of the dailies, so because I have been moving and quite busy, I probably used my dailies less for actual planning. A few more kind of photos stuck in here, particularly kind of, so you'll have seen just some pictures there of kind of my new desk set up in my new place, some flowers. I've spent a lot of time finding the local bakeries and cafes in my new town, and there's a lot of good food to be had around here. Some days out that I had, covering up my friend just in case he doesn't want to be on YouTube. Yeah, so this is probably one of the few. So this was a brownie Scotch egg, so it was a cream egg in the middle and then a brownie around the outside. Absolutely amazing, but so huge and filling it took me hours to eat. But as you'll probably see as we flick into April, I did use the pages a little bit more. As you'll see as we go through April, I did start to use the pages a bit more, just as I kind of got back to normal. I clipped those pages because that was some interview prep stuff for a new job that I just got, so didn't want to share all of that. And yeah, that's kind of it for my dailies. So a real quick kind of flick through, bit of an interesting one just because I have been so busy and not used this kind of to its full capacity, but I've set up May in a really strong way. Actually, I'm really excited about this. It's something that I'll share in a bit more detail, but I'm experimenting with kind of a monthly dashboard, so I'll talk about that a bit more in next month's video. But yeah, so kind of brief flirtation with the Nolty in March, April. Worked out really well, and I've definitely kind of found my planning groove with this as a bit of a pre-planning planner. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please drop me a comment if you've got any questions or want to see anything in a bit more detail, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!